feels like I have made it impossible for me to love, impossible for me to feel. My bones transformed into icicles long ago, and I fashioned the muscles of my heart from steel. My words are made of glass. Tread carefully. I'm sorry in advance for the blood pooling at your feet, but I warned you. There are daggers in my eyes, even when they cannot be seen. I'm not trying to be mean, but the only emotion within me is anger. It feels like liquid mercury is running through my veins here, hot and boiling. I am tearing myself apart from the inside out, and I am nothing but cords and cables, robotic actions and robotic reactions. God, how I miss being made out of carbon and hydrogen and oxygen. I feel certain my humanity has left me sometimes. I feel certain my life has left me. But with you, my God, with you make me feel light, like I'm a toddler again, relearning the world and loving every bit of it. Plasma is dripping from my fingertips. It seems like you have converted me into raw energy. You replace the liquid mercury in my veins with liquid neon. You make me bright. The flesh is returning to my fingers. I am no longer just the bones of myself. You are turning me inside out in the best way possible, and God, how I have missed this passion in my voice and this passion in my ribs. I said sometimes it feels like I have made it impossible for me to love. But I was wrong. It is within me at every twist and turn. I am growing inside. I am endlessly expanding. Real human skin and bone and muscle. A heart that constricts, veins that are rushing with blood. I am no longer empty space. This is the most whole I have ever felt.
Each deep breath in begs for strength. Each sigh let out whispers, I can't. My body trembling, trying to regain feeling after its numbness. The all-in-one package deal isn't so great when it's all being torn away from you at once. My mind barges over every other thought, screaming, I'm alone. You're alone! You're alone! You are alone! Sinks in deeper, cutting through. You're alone! You are alone. Anybody else would claim me to be crazy, that I'm dramatic, but all I hear is screaming. Soon I notice I'm saying it aloud, as if those two words are the only way I can live. The hope I keep locked away for emergency use only has disappeared. Body trembling, breaths shortened every minute, tears blurring everything in sight. Just an hour ago I was telling myself everything was for the best. I fought off reality, alone in a dark room. Yet I see so clearly what caused this. I beg someone to shine a light. Anybody. I'm scared of the dark and the things I see. With light, I'm blind, but in the dark, the monsters give me night vision. I find a dim light to fill the room. Light cancels out the darkness, but my flashlight flickers. I'm holding on, waiting for the batteries to die. Trembling, I look into the dark and see the monsters of my past. Some softer than others, some with sharper teeth. I hear the whispers in the corners. You're alone.
All right, so before I start, this poem is called If Time is Money, Then I'm Bankrupt. Here, as I begin, my philosophical dollars slipping away from my palms, my brain crumbling into nothingness. My life is like an overused motif. Cue the rain, so that maybe it can baptize me. This minuscule time I have left, it's being wasted. I'm trying to grapple with if I'm faithful or faithless. Waves and bouts of procrastination dig their claws into my skin, latching on for salvation and relief. But trust me, they will not find any. They say time is money. Well, if that's the case, my psyche is continuously barren, and I'm in need of some loans. We waste our time bringing out fruitless topics that only start tastes in our mouths, and I'm pretty sure I'm going mad between thinking about future student debt, my next IA or history test. Yeah, I'm a little upset and a self-absorbed concoction of, well, distress. Why does it cost so much to be alive and simply exist? More so, why is nobody talking about this? Oh, let me guess, we do not have the time because we must check on our brackets and our teams, because if they don't win, we'll be deceased. Oops. Hypothesizing on theories about what we are doing here, religion and science battling it out through claims rights of this this duality. Instead of living this life that we are blessed with, all we do is mess with it and see how much we can lay dead goals and repeat. And we are killing the climate, and I'm afraid I won't be alive to see my kids someday. Because global warming is destroying the planet, but no one seems to care. We're losing time like it's Black history. If stress was supposed to kill me, a cop or systematic racism sure will. Maybe I'll be naive and carefree like R. Kelly. Alright, that simply was in poor taste, but so are fates if we continue to waste away our limited days. People treat life like it's a video game. Sorry, but you don't get 3 lives. It's start up, do your playthrough, then die, then possibly leave a legacy to be remembered by. Now you don't have to be eccentric or a star shooting across the sky, trailed by a bright light. We must all realize that all stars eventually die and burn out. So you scream and shout and let your presence be heard, or be swallowed up by dark and ominous rain clouds. If slow and steady wins the race, why do we run so fast once we get thrown back and punched in the face? Because if time is money, then I'll say it must be heard. If time is money, I know that's not absurd. If time is money, a picture's worth 1,000 words, but I'll say 2,000 more, because if time is money, then I will be broken and poor. But I will not fall subject to corruption, the capitalization, the monopoly, the hunger of this cruel, cyclical world. Thank you.
I am not a person. I am not the first time that someone who loves their life feels the need to die because society does not take their pain and suffering seriously. I am not alone. There are so many kids whose daily lives are lived off the grid in their rooms or in their tombs where they decide to leave us all behind in the wake of their pain, unable to drain their memory from our brain like the blood and the bullet drained their memory from theirs. So now, after his one night of deadly passion, I exist in a constant state of sadness, ration to ration, because I was never taught that loving yourself was beautiful. I was always taught that staying silent was dutiful. And I was always told that sadness was a choice, but now that it comes down to it, the only choice I can make is whether or not to end my life because of the pain at stake. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm pretending to not hide the fact that I'm drained from the pain inside of my brain that keeps me writing poems and strange refrains about how dying might fix everything I have struggled through. No one can see my pain, and words cannot describe how hard I tried to hide when I cut my own flesh because it hurts so much inside. And it's hard to live when you want to die, when your heart will hurt and your mind won't try, and it's not your fault, but they say it is because they think it's fun to suffer like this. Writing down rambling words because I can't confide in these people without the fear of being hurt, cut, or crushed, or sent away to some strange hospital. It don't take much for them to think that I'm not okay. They won't even give it a second thought. Friends, they mean the world to me. They're the only reason I'm alive right now, you see. Friends, they keep me afloat like my own little barely lifeboat sailing on the open sea in a hurricane so strong I can't steal a breath to sing along. One of these days I will feel again. One of these days I won't have to just deal. I will live and I will thrive, not trying so hard to survive. And I can take it out and talk about my struggle with mental health to stop the stigma, because to so many people, mental health is an enigma. Somehow I made it through this far. And look at my arm and you'll see my scars. This fight was hard and I couldn't see that far. I had a friend and he was right beside me, telling me how to guide my real bad thoughts, thinking I wasn't quite lost yet. He found a way into my heart and gave me a reason to make it to the new start. I found a light and he kept me here and alive. He loves me and I love him, and the only real thing I have been saying is that I'm in pain and I want to die. But he did his best to keep me alive when my heart wanted to kill me and my mind wouldn't die. And it's the hardest fight I've been through, but he was by my side. He is my best friend there in the worst of times, when I felt it best not to believe and not survive my own battle with depression. But he helps me develop a sense of belonging. Under his wing, I can breathe enough for a song. When I choke on my tears streaming down my face, he held me tight and told me I'm not a monster running this dangerous race. I am loved, and I know it now. Even though it's hard to live and show it through, I'm alive because of him. I can't die because of him. His love healed my wounds and kept me still when the hurricane inside my brain left me shaking and gasping for air. I don't want to live, I would whisper in between the grasps at life, and he would lift me up into the being okay, which I don't get to feel day to day like most of you individuals out there. I am thankful for everyone who has helped me and through this, and I pray you never experience this. It can be the one thing in life you should miss.
My poem is called, It Wasn't Supposed to End This Way. It wasn't supposed to end this way. You were supposed to turn 53 December 7th. He's in a better place now as a track that plays and repeat through my head, like an old record player stuck on that one sad song. The one that no one wants to listen to, but we always do because it's at the top of our In Our Feelings playlist. It wasn't supposed to end this way. Instead of having an investigation, they'd rather hold an interrogation because we're all 20 or younger and we're easier to manipulate. Instead of letting us grieve in peace, they would rather ask what kind of cars you drove and what kind of drugs you sold. It wasn't supposed to end this way. Instead of celebrating your life, they'd rather point out who's the bad guy. Who can clean and find the winning card is the name of the game. What a shame it is to know that we all have the same last name. They fight over cars while my heart develops scars. It's a shame what someone will do when you're gone. It wasn't supposed to end this way. I should still be able to touch your scar-filled skin and see your gap-filled smile. Hear your hideous laugh and smell that good wood and cigarettes linger on your clothes just one more time. It wasn't supposed to end this way. You were never supposed to leave me in this hateful world. You were supposed to be here to tell me everything's gonna be okay, mama girl. The Lord will push you forward. I should have to cry myself to sleep at night with the thought that I'll never be able to tell you that I loved you just one more time. The fact that you will never be here again. Because I don't care about anything more than to tell you that I love you. July 19, 2018, may you forever be in my heart.
Teresa! You got this, baby. Hi, everyone. Is this loud enough? Is this good? A month ago, I was 16, you are 18, but I am the oldest sister. 12 years ago, I was 4. Patiently waiting for you, my best friend, to get back from school. 10 years ago, Mom tells me you're different. I just want to play. I wonder why Mother always favors you. I question why she never makes the time for me and why she doesn't get as excited when I learn how to multiply 2 by 2. I am now 9. We are in the mountains of Northern California, sitting beneath the stars with our extended family. Silent the night was. You throw one of your tantrums again. This time in front of all of our favorite cousins, I apologize on your behalf. I tell them I'm sorry. The devil possessed her and it's showing through because that's what people do. They shape their unknowingness into something evil. I am now 10. Puzzles have caught my attention. I love being asked questions. I like to mention my intelligence. My friends always come up to me when you're around and they ask, why is she like that? Is the most question that I'm afraid of. It always makes me look dumb. Finally, I am 11. My eyes are now wide open. I've connected the dots. I've so long waited to draw this picture. I understand why you're not allowed near the stove. I now know why you're enrolled in those classes. I now understand my duty as your sister. See, they make having a learning disability sound like hell, as if your life was a liability on our hands, as if you had an inability of living a happy life. It makes me angry. That people don't have the flexibility to bring the light of your existence into visibility. A month ago, I was 16, you were 18. I was the older sister. Sometimes I wonder if you ever actually even need protecting. Sometimes I wonder if you're the one taking my hand and teaching me. You are always living your life oh so happy. You are always laughing. And the envy. You do not need protection, I promise. Your capabilities are more than your disabilities. Of course you know this. But apparently the whole population of America doesn't. The only burden to our society are the people who score below 70 on their IQ tests of ethicality. It's a mess, the way they stress and obsess over the right to insult people with things like retard, digging holes in the backyard of America's history, discarding all their failing report cards on the subject of morality. Today I turn 16, today you turn 18. And you will always be the older sister, teaching me how to live life oh so relentlessly and happy. This is Johnsen.
I don't really do this performing writing thing, so this is new. Okay. This one's called Courage. Why are you here? I ask myself that question of questions as I stare at the flat, blank pages before me. Why do I write? Is what I do even right? Do I have the courage to share with you all the blight festering in my soul? What does courage even mean? Is it planting seeds in the garden I'll never get to see, writing the first notes of the symphony that's sent for me? What does courage even mean? Will they even care? Will I preach my sermon to a sea of blank stares? Why would they care when in a world full of scares, hate, anger, and pain, so few dare to speak? What does courage even mean? In a world where politicians can point fingers and throw tantrums and make it seem like our world is run by the very phantoms of hell, what does courage even mean? And yet still they tell us to grow up, spittle as they scream and yell, spittle flying faces growing redder. What does courage even mean? Folks, we need to come together and realize that it doesn't matter whether you're skinny or fat, black, white, pink, or gray. The heart of our issue lies in the things that we say. Old or young, the words flying free from our tongues can either hurt or help the world. What does courage even mean? Why are you here? Is it to tremble with fear, or is it to fight, to make the rest of the world hear your voice? What does courage even mean? So I say raise your glass to freedom, something they can never take away, and know when you go, no matter what they say, no matter what tolls you have to pay, and know when you go home at the end of every day that knowledge is power, and courage is having the strength to share it. Thank you so much.
This goes to my cat. Fatty, big brown cat. Can't even roll off your back. Up the tower, there you crawl. Right back down you fall. Whoa, did you feel that earthquake? Oh, I think I heard something break. Just kidding. Oh wait, that was the kitchen sink. Fatty, oh how I love you. I just wish you loved me too. Even though I give you food, the floor proceeds to be still covered with your poo. You don't eat that. That's not a rat. I swear, you can eat anything. Fatty, how'd you get those curves? I think it was from running into the window for the birds. Into the small box you run, I'm sure getting out will be fun. I see your head is stuck. That's what you get for eating all my stuff. Wait, I have to take a picture. My friend says you've gotten bigger. Fatty, nothing compares to you. Seriously, no one is as fat as you. They say it's all about that bass, but you barely leave any space. And I know, baby, you got some back. But you literally make the floor crack. Fatty, you're too cute, especially when you toot. Your paws are so small, I'm sure that's the first you heard that word at all. I know it's hard to be a little too thick, but hey, maybe that'll get you some chicks, not the bird kind. Fatty, why are you so fat? Oh yeah, because you ate my other cat.
The title of my piece is Where I'm From. I'm from the belief Christ Jesus is the way to salvation. I'm from the church, a meeting place to worship God. I'm from the body of Christ, his follower. I'm from a feast of Holy Communion, from unspeakable joy. I'm from Bethel, the house of God. I'm from a Christian family, and from the way to eternal life. I'm from a trust Jesus bore the sins of the whole world. I'm from the past, which God came looking for me. I'm from Emanuel. God lives in me. I'm from a faith one that's wrong, you do right. I'm from Calvary, a place where Jesus allowed my body to be tamed. I'm from the image of God, and from the place He created for me to live well and enjoy His creation. I'm from redemption through the shed blood of Jesus. I'm from His warm arms and from the winning grace of God. I'm from a world where prayers are everything in life. From a Mother Earth, a world which awaits His second coming. Thank you.
My piece is called The Rabbit and Wolf. Jumping, hopping, everything left behind, yet nothing is gone, nothing is left, until they come and drag our legs. Hungry for more, hungry for joy, take the joy, turn it into sadness, let the joy bleed out. Laying everything left behind, yet nothing is gone, nothing is forgotten. Joy will flourish after sadness has grown. Blood will be spilled, families torn, caskets worn. Forever a darkness will be, but a light will never be forgotten.
I'm not really all that used to this, but I'll make it work. For everybody, this poem is called Forgotten Atrocities and Personal Journalism. We live in an era of forgotten atrocities, bullet point presentations of massacre, extending as far into the past as we care to scroll through our news feed. Last week's original Apocalypse signed a book deal already in an attempt at memorability. At the corner of atrocity, we discovered the Scottsboro trial over and over, a tool with animosity. Where people we love tense the moment sirens wail, trail behind them, the highway is crowded, but feels so empty and singular. Hypertension is crowded, it crowds our chests faster than sanity, pulling those back into the day's reality that freedom is non-existent in a world where we pace without direction. For those that are given the direction by the people who claim to lead end up on a street corner, end up on uncharted, unnecessary, reluctant stepping stones to a crying mother, to a waiting room, to a circus. A missed turn signal ends up in a headline, a family reunion ends up behind bars, a trip to the store ends up in handcuffs. The pain of history ends up in claustrophobic buildings. As prejudice screams out, it echoes flat against the walls. My father, a tribute to his home in Mexico, becomes a statistic, left in static for news stations equating tragedy to channel surfing to swarm. Realization is that you are more than a headline. You are more than subtext. You are more than a bullet point, more than personal journalism, and more than that, you are more than the forgotten atrocities. Thank you.
You cheated on Dad. You taught me that men are superior. You told me when I was younger that I was too much. You let another man in our life before we both got healed from last time. You let that man change all of your morals. You let that man take control of everything you did. I realized all those stories I heard from my dad were true, that you can't think for yourself, that you will never be alone for more than a year, that you manipulate men into thinking that you want them to be controlling, but then you turn around and say the opposite a couple years in. You stop thinking the same way they do. A couple years in, and you find a new man. A couple years in, you ruin the lives my sisters and I fought for because you can't choose if you want control or not.
But this time, I see that you are trying. This time, I see a different light. This time, I know that this is hard because you see me hurting more this time. But you know what you did. I know you do. And you are trying your best to heal me, but Mom, heal. You just lost the man that actually wasn't abusive. You just lost the one man that was good. You just lost a family. We just lost a family, but we are never alone. Yes, I'm mad at you, and it's going to take years for me to fully forgive you, but you left him for me this time. You chose me. You love me, and I know that. And that is all that matters. Thank you. Thank you. This poem is called IB stands for I'm bored. Eye bags, darker than the night sky. Her smile droops to the ground because she can't manage to fake a smile. She avoids spending time with family and friends because she knows the impact of the consequences that will snap back at her. She can't find the time of the day buried underneath the surface, so she lives in darkness. The weight on her shoulders are heavier than the weight she carries with her feet. Missing a day of sleep turns into 2 or 3 and then a week. Until she's standing on a stage performing a poem she needs at 2 a.m. to complain about the one and only IB, the International Baccalaureate Program. I'm going to be honest, I did not know how to spell baccalaureate. So I searched it up. Realistically, I don't think that's what it actually stands for. IB struggling. IB having at least 24 breakdowns without the day. I'd be struggling to open a jar of freaking pickles because my hands hurt from solving like the Pythagorean theorem or something. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what the Pythagorean theorem is. IB also not knowing the reaction formula for photosynthesis. IB not knowing like the first president of the United States, like is that Abraham Lincoln or something? I'd be confused as heck when my teacher tells me to say Puedo ir al baño. Like what the heck does that mean? IB flossing. Did I get a C on my biology test? IB stands for I'm a bonehead. And I know there's no A, but I've never received any A's while being an IB. IB is such a bonehead that I need to search up synonyms for idiots. I don't even know how to pronounce synonyms, probably because of IB. At the end of the day, the devil works hard, but IB kids work harder. I need to go write an essay that's like 7 weeks late for Durrell. Thank you, everybody!
We all have the choice to lead or to follow. The choice of the follower is who you walk behind, who you choose to lead you. Will they lead you to the path of destruction or fortitude? The choice of the leader is which path to take, left or right as the fork comes closer, a decision your followers await. One man stands alone, not allied to a cause, a leader on his own, the one man left alone. A black path stands before him, winding is this new road, and the loner starts his journey in the darkness of the unknown. He walks to find the light, to find a sense of right and wrong. When he no longer has to go to walk, the man will fight. In the darkness he makes fire, but in the light of the flame, looks only at his shadow, for darkness is not banished, only pushed away. Realizing this, the man lost his will to stay. He saw flashlights ahead, he saw people he understood. He found a man broken and blue, but did not make him whole. He picked up the pieces and gave the man those. He said, "Do what you will," but the other man wanted not to be alone. As the men faced each other, they were of two different minds, yet took the same road, and the man in blue asked as the man walked away, "Do you really think that from any path you have strayed?" The man walked away, leaving the one in blue, but as the man left, the one in blue did too. He would chase the man to the ends of the earth, and when the man had started his flame, the ashes had turned to blue to gray. His color wavered, the color changed. The changed man walked toward the loner, hoping one day they would be loners no longer in this world of disarray.
I want to make sure you can hear me, guys.
I can hear you so good.
Beautiful. I dream of a life that's sugary sweet. One of bubblegum thoughts, a world of gumdrops, and nothing but sweet jelly beans. But let's not sugarcoat it. Life is not a piece of cake. Amongst dreams of chocolate bars and fudge pops, reality can be anything but sweet. Reach into the cookie jar for a treat, and you'll get nothing but crumbs of what you wanted to eat. Why am I no longer a kid in a candy store? Does sweetness sour with age? The sugar rush to grow up is drilled into us like cavities and makes us forget the icing on the cake of life. The push to get old rots our teeth, and it's hard to enjoy your cookie dough when you've got a toothache. You know, what's the rush with growing up? What is wrong with living in my candy land with a fresh peppermint mindset and taffy-covered teeth? Why should I give up the bubbly soda pop persona for a bland, sugar-free substitute? I'm told the world's too bitter for that now. I was warned, do not be quick to eat up sugar-coated words because like a dentist, life will pull out every tooth contaminated. Every single one. Our world is sweet with cotton candy clouds and gingerbread men who walk upon their licorice roads. But then you grow up, and it hits. You're going to miss the sprinkles on top and the soothing butterscotch of childhood. The blueberry slushies become an aftertaste, and I hate to be candy corny, but isn't there more to life than growing up in a bitter world? Yes, there is. Don't think this poem will end bittersweet. Remember, there are the citrus lemon Saturday mornings with sunshine, the flavor of sweet tropical punch, and the windows shine with the morning dew of sugar dew drops. There are the angel cake afternoons where the strawberry shortcake picnics take place under a candy apple tree, or the hot summer days and the lemonade mood that accompanies the Band-Aids and blue popsicle when you fell on your rocky road when on your bike. There are the moments where your heart feels like Pop Rocks and the wild cherry atmosphere makes you want to sing a song flavored like cinnamon fireball, or the times where you'll stare into the caramel brown eyes of someone who makes you feel loved like a warm fudge brownie. Or maybe their eyes are blueberry blue and sour apple green like rock candy in a bright light, and they make you feel as alive as sour lime lemon candies. Life is too sweet to forget. And growing up should not make us rewrite our taste buds. And until we're old on our candy canes, or until there is nothing left but our milk bones, know this. I swear on my sweet tart heart, growing up doesn't mean that the sweetness will ever stop.
You got this, John!
Good? Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
FYI, just tiny shit. Just a little bit. Alright. So my poem is called Bryce. I made it for a friend. But yeah, here it goes. It's endless, the vision that comes about. She looks up to the stars, dreaming of what there is to see. Her mind is devoid of her imagination, and her eyes are the gateways to see. She tastes the food, not knowing the outcome. She feels the tension, wondering why it hurts. She listens to the horrors and thoughts of others. She touches her heart, knowing there is something better for her. And she sees the worries, the blacks and whites of others. Mysterious were her light brown eyes, that lies secret that none could bear see. Easily lost as her eyes began to give flares. Her eyes are like the ocean seas, calm and beautiful, but also dangerous and vulnerable. The only way to see her truly is by looking into her eyes, and her eyes are unforgettable.
This poem really isn't as good as the first. This poem's called Stereotype Me by her. No, I am not good at math, Paul. No, I cannot teach you how to use chopsticks, Amanda. No, your dog did not go missing because of me, Bethany. And no, my name is not Ping, Gregory. No, I can still see, Rebecca. My eyes really aren't that small. And no, I don't eat cats, Michelle. I'm vegan. I'm not vegan. Yes, but you do need to take your shoes off before you enter my gosh dang house. Hi, I'm Kathy Wynn, and if you didn't get this by now, I'm white. I'm just kidding, I'm Asian. More specifically, I'm Vietnamese, or which many children call it, one of the many types of Nieces. Now, this is the part of the poem where my voice begins to rise and I'm angry and I'm super, super angry and I'm using all this figurative language to express all my extreme sad experiences and the audience is like, oh my god, this is so deep and I'm basically at my highest point. But this isn't one of those poems. Because I don't think I need to waste my breath to tell you to respect me. Because I'm not entirely mad at a person's ignorance towards me, but I don't know what to tell you at all. Hi, I'm Kathy, and sometimes I find random weird grains of rice on the bottom of my foot, because when I walk around at home, my mom's constantly cooking rice. And I also have an 88% in Algebra 2 right now, when I'm supposed to have a whopping 102% somehow, Mom. In elementary school, I thought being Asian was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I was like the 1 out of 5 Asians that even attended that school. Sooner or later, I realized I wasn't special because everyone loved Asian culture. I was special because I wasn't white. The term shouldn't even be special. I was simply different, because being Asian at that school was like being a caged zoo animal that tourists love to pester with. Either people really liked me or were completely disgusted just because of my ethnicity. For a large portion of time, my ethnicity defined who I was. That constantly meant I had to stay at this level of expectation that decided my every move considering my future. But it definitely was not reality. Not mine at least, because I learned to love myself through the hate I was given. And that's okay, because I will never, ever hate myself because I'm not like you. Thank you.
I love you.
Sing goes as first round. Can you guys hear me first off? Yeah. Okay. Second of all, seeing as Kathy, this isn't as good as the first.
Yeah!
Just follow the script. The velvet curtain falls on the beautiful stage of life to reveal the star behind the show. It's you. Whether you think so or not, you're an actor hiding behind stage makeup and masks like armor. Just follow the script. You play your part scene by scene to make sure your character is as precise as possible, sweating under the pressure of eyes like spotlights. But the thing is, those bright lights that look angelic from the audience padded seats burn the performers on a solid wood floor, humming with age. Be that character to make the audience happy, no matter the consequences. But what happens when you please the audience, yet you end up the skeleton of the show, skin peeling from the excessive makeup and eyes stinking from the same stage light that made your heavenly life seem hellish? Just follow the script. The most perfect people are just the most perfect actors, memorizing their lines until they see the words behind their eyes every time they blink. Just follow the script to make it seem like you have no flaws. Make everyone love the character, not you, the character. Just follow the script. Just follow the script. We jump from scene to scene. Cut the lines that make us seem like anything but perfect and hide behind the playwrights, because what's the point of emotion when the script has decided it for you? Fake it. Tell the crowd exactly what they want to hear, because no amount of improv will make them enjoy themselves, because, well, we just don't like the real world. Just follow the script. Stage directions will make you unrecognizable. Shoulders loose, head straight, eyes scan in mock eye contact, voice steady. Footing balanced. Loose but don't wobble, no teetering, and above all else, don't let your character slip. Just follow the script. Just follow the script? No, don't follow the script. Take off your mask. It's time to stop the performances you put on for every person you meet. Take off your masks. You are a character, no longer you are you. Take off your mask. Tear your voice to shreds with the way you truly feel. Say your bit and take the duct tape they give you to tape your mouth shut and use it to fix your voice so you can say it again and again and again. Take off your mask. No one truly knows what we're doing. You're the actor in your own movie, your own life. Hide the tape so they can't fix the script that you shredded. You're a side character no longer. You don't blend into the background because you have now taken off your mask.
There is always more. There is always you. You have remade all of the tendons in my body out of raw terror and indignation. I expect for there to be twists and turns even when there are none. The apprehension that you have instilled in me has the force of a tsunami and it is pushing everyone away. This bone-deep inability to accept love is rattling in my mind every time I get close to someone. It is all because of you. I thought I was fine. I'm not fine. I am so scared because I do not want to live like this. Fear around every corner, disgust coating my thoughts, incessant darkness clouding my mind. Body shaking from anger, brain flashing, I'm riddled with anxiety, and it's all induced by what you've done to me. I am terrified. But also I'm so sorry. But I'm done apologizing to you. No, this is for myself and for the other you in my poetry. Because you do not deserve to be immortalized by my words. You do not deserve to live forever in my ribs. You do not deserve to run through my veins. You deserve nothing more than your worst nightmare. If this makes me a terrible person, so be it. You made me rot. I'm not sorry if I wish the same for you.
Battery's dead. She's dead.
Can everybody hear me? This poem is called An Ode to Kansas City. Home, where you come from matters, as its cadence to dreams illuminates the bookstore of your personal heaven. Defines angels and visionaries, engine sound of cars passing through concrete and bones a hum, right through your teeth. Will deer invade the suburbs of our own backyards, the cawing of crows hot wired to nerves. A car going 80, an unidentifiable racketing noise, ignored and forgotten, or at least tuned out, because the gas bill seems a little bit more important this month. I-70 praying for a cheap tow on 39th in Kansas City. All of us working at the minimum wage dream factory warmed souls at the intersection of unsubmitted poems and improbable movie scenes, a project left unfinished. The long-drawn philosophies of Monday sunsets, Paseo stretches down a long path, longer than we remembered. Sirens stretch along the night air. Maybe we should drive faster, my mom says, as staring out the passenger seat window. The sun slowly falling behind the horizon, bleakly staring. Sidewalks fearless of the knowledge of our pacing, but our footsteps never cease. And somewhere a trumpet, viola, or saxophone winding down to hang a note on the closed-eye image of Kansas dust. Horizons that whisper of far cities, gold rush and homestead hanging along the dimming light as we casually put the orchestra on full throttle.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because today we're about to reveal your favorite, the amazing, awe-inspiring, sometimes disappointing, Generation Z, stressed, depressed, and memes at our expense. Foolish delinquents we don't know respect, persistent little pest, vaping up a storm in the bathrooms is really not cute, and listening to Old Town Roads, the button is stuck on replay. Simply leeches to your very soul, I am called your inferior, and you are my superior. Who deemed us these mindless zombies? Who waved a magic wand and told me I know nothing? They placed us in a box, claiming to decipher our brains. Take a step into our world, and you'll find that we actually aren't that the same. Suicide rates so high, I can't really stomach it. Kids being gunned in the schools, and the government acts like Twitter, placing us on mute. Right now, they're treating us like Peter Parker, and I don't know about you, but Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. They open their ears to hear our voices, but as soon as we get too passionate, back being playing toys again. We are liabilities being blamed on the world's obscurity. Oh, when I can hear their voices now, they're gonna say things like, oh no, she snapped. Yeah, you're right, I did, because I'm tired of being told that my brain is just full of stupid, mundane things when it's actually an endless time-space continuum of a screwed up reality. I wonder how men who rape and abuse women have walked free for so long, how Cardi B can bust it down like she's Tatiana. When she's drugging men, we still see nothing wrong, how murder and marijuana can both land you in jail, yet one is fatal, and the other is simply surface level. How our education system is in shambles if we turn a blind eye, and how it took us years to finally have a black president, and sadly, I don't think we're gonna get a woman yet. We know about the home of the brave, the land of the free. Yeah, as long as you're a stereotypical white guy like Harvey Weinstein. I am tired of these labels being shoved down my throat, causing me to choke and write the pain, and then being told the best we can do is just give some medications to you. Yeah, once I cause more addiction and throw problem solving off a cliff, sorry. If once we lied and misled you, I would simply turn the TV and watch Fox News all day. Now, I'm not saying that we know it all, as we are not an omniscient force. We would be nothing without our parents, our guardians, and our teachers. You are raising future leaders, and that is not an easy task. And we are beyond grateful for that. However, our cries and our pleas and our songs of expression have been downplayed for too long. We should instead unite. Because despite what they may say, if we are the faces of the future, I know we'll be all right. We have the power to fight for the change we believe in, and we should. Because to me, that's the end game.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Yes. I would just like to say the exact same thing as Kathy, in that this second poem is not as good as the first one. So no, my world is not all rainbows and unicorns. No, coming out of the closet is never the easiest part. No, not all your friends will stay. But always remember, it has to rain before there's a rainbow. And to the queers or anyone trapped in the closet who feel like they are nothing, like if they tell people who they truly like or who they truly are, that they will lose everyone in their life, know this. If someone leaves you when you are finally feeling better about yourself,
Never stoop low or never feel sad about it if someone leaves you because you're too gay now or you're just a queer. You stand up and you walk the hell away, because never ever in your life do you need to wait for someone to accept you. It won't happen. No one ever changes their morals that easily, and that is that. At this point in your life, stand up and don't cry, because being sad is overrated, and hiding in the shadows and staying low is never the way to go. Find the people who love you for you and stay with them. And if you are the only person that loves you, then you are okay, because you don't need anyone. And remember, queers don't slouch. Your tiara will fall.
Place. Drum roll, please. It is Julie Moore. In fifth place, drum roll, please. We have Sage Kirkland. In fourth place, we have Yasmin Hannah. Now for third place. Drum roll, please. We have Kathy Quinn. Let's go. And for second place, Jasmine Johansen. And now last, but certainly not least, Asada Starks.
And let's give a big hand to all the poets that competed today.